Hello, this is the Watchdog. Welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Pagani Design PD-YS020. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Christopher Ward 12 in titanium. This is probably the last time I'm going to wear it because I just reviewed this watch, which means I'm going to have to send it back to Christopher Ward. So if you haven't seen the review, be sure to check it out. And Greg was wearing my Bulova snorkel. Grogu said that Master Skywalker showed them a video of a younger Yoda playing Hamlet, Prince of Damtune, and he was doing the famous soliloquy. Be true or be true not? The question that is. Alright, let's get this watch open. It's a Pagani Design, so Pagani Designs either come in this snapper box or they come in a box with a lid. But they're all about the same. For a while they were coming out with these fancy boxes, but they were just bigger and cost more to ship. Who needs a fancy box? But here it is. It's a nice looking watch. Look how thin that is. So, obviously this is a homage to Vacheron Constantin 222. And they really nailed the look of it. Another Pagani design on my channel, and possibly the last one until the tariff situation gets sorted out. This is an homage to Vacheron Constantin Historiques 222, which is their other integrated bracelet sports watch, with the other being the more famous overseas. The biggest difference being the bezels. Vacheron Constantin calls this a fluted bezel, although it looks totally different from what I normally associate with fluting. At 7 millimeters thick, this PD-YS020 is 1 millimeter thinner than its inspiration, but it is a quartz compared to an automatic. At the $100 I paid for it, it is 3,200 times more affordable than the actual 222. Also, unlike the 222, this watch has a single link bracelet compared to the 222's H-link. This watch comes in 6 different colorways. If you like your watch is stainless steel, then you have the choice of blue. I chose black or a silver color. The blue has the advantage of being a gradient dial. If you prefer a gold tone case, you can get the same blue and black dials and also a gold dial. The watch is 37 millimeters if you measure at the case. 44.7 millimeters long if you measure from where my thumb is to my other thumb. And it's only 7 millimeters thick. This is one of the thinnest watches I've ever seen. Lug width does not apply, but it's 26 millimeters where the bracelet meets the case and tapers down to 18 at the butterfly clasp. And weighs 101 grams on the solid steel bracelet with 2.5 links removed. The bezel, once again, Vacheron Constantin calls this fluted. I don't know if I would call this fluted or not. Looks more like kind of like a gear, but oh well. But it's a nice looking bezel. Then we have the dial. This being the blue, we get a gradient. You don't get gradient with the black. And then we have the indices. We just have single baton indices. And then we have the stick hands, and we have a running second hand that's not loomed. We have the Pagani Design logo applied up top. It just says sapphire on the bottom. No mention of water resistance. Supposedly you get 100 meters, they claim, even though it has a press-on case back. Usually you don't see 100 meters with the press-on. And it looks like the second hand is hitting the marks for the most part. Every once in a while it misses, but mostly it hits it close enough, not bad enough to set off anybody's OCD. Then we have the crown. It's a sign push-pull. There's no ghost date on this movement, and it hacks, of course. And this is a decent movement, so you don't get any minute hand jump or anything like that. Then we have the crystal. The crystal is a flat sapphire, and they must have air coating, so it's doing a really good job of not reflecting. Been very happy with the crystal, and I tested it just to make sure they weren't trying to sneak in glass or anything. And no, it's sapphire. Then we have the case. Case is really nice. It's brushed, but has really good finishing and super thin. Happy with the case. Then we have the case back. The case back is a press-on. And it says stainless steel, Pagani Design, has the logo in the middle. Then once again, it says 100 meters. So usually you don't get 100 meters with the press on. And then it gives the model number right there. Underneath the case back is the VJ21 movement. This is a TMI movement, which is, of course, owned by Seiko. So it's a Seiko design. And this is one of the reasons why the watch can be so thin, because this movement is super thin. And there is no date and no ghost date. Then we have the bracelet. The bracelet's a departure from the 222. The 222 has an H link. So if you look at the very first links, they kind of look like a 222 link. But then they just went single link everywhere else. So, but yeah, if they would have had these center links like here and made it an H link with links like this, it would have looked more like the 222. But the bracelet looks really nice. It's very well finished. And even though it's brushed, it plays with the light well. So I really like the bracelet. The thing is, though, it doesn't fully articulate. It only bends so much. So it does not fit the wrist as nice as you would like. It has push pins, not screw pins. You can see the little arrows showing you which direction to push them out. But it does have half links, which is nice because it's a butterfly clasp. And so at least you can get some better adjustment there, because these are some pretty big links here. So yeah, half links, it was a good idea. And it's a push button butterfly clasp, and it is signed on one side. But happy with the bracelet. Just wish it bent a little bit better. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice. That wears nice. Look how flat that is. Super thin. And look at that wrist roll. Look how the bracelet plays with the light. I really like that. I removed 2.5 links. So, not the longest bracelet for a Pagani Design. 2.5 links is about 3/4 of an inch. So about 8 1/4 is the best you're going to do without more links. I am wearing it a little looser than I like, but that's just because this bracelet doesn't bend as well. I think if it articulated better, I could probably removed another half link there. But it is really nice looking, and it's so light, solid steel, but only 101 grams. Here we are in the Lume room. When it comes to Pagani Design and Lume, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. As we spend the time, we see green indices and blue hands. Although the hands start out just as bright, they are soon fading much faster. And we have yet another Pagani Design where the markers outshine the hands, when it should be the other way around. This is pretty typical Pagani Design Lume. What do I like about this watch? Stunning looks and wearability. Super thin, but still has a running second hand. And it does have half links, so you can get a better fit with a butterfly clasp. What are my gripes and groans? The hand loom isn't as good as the index loom. The bracelet's a little stiff, doesn't articulate fully, and could be longer. And it does have a press-on case back instead of a screw-down. Do I recommend this watch? Of course, this watch is great. An integrated bracelet sports watch that nobody will mistake for a PRX that is super thin and even has half links. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Pagani Design PD-YS020, and I'll be back with another review because I don't have any unboxings coming up. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. If you like this watch, I'll leave an affiliate link. But if you live in the United States, you're probably not going to use it. But if you live elsewhere, sure, use my affiliate link, and I'll get a tiny commission. But those tiny commissions do add up. And I was hoping I'd get enough commission to get that Steinhardt I wanted. And maybe I will. I was really close last time I looked. So when I get my next round of commission money, I think it will put me over the top, despite the fact that I'm probably not going to get near as much this month due to the fact of the Chinese tariffs. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice members, all 6 of you. I still haven't sold the Members Choice watch. I thought I was going to sell it a couple days ago, but the guy backed out. So I still have it for $130, which is a really good price for a Chronos, especially during this tariff period. But it will sell eventually. Bye.